to come out of in real life clubs where these riders would know each other in real life and ride together in real life. And I'm going to guess Peter Z will let me know. But I bet you those guys are amigos in real life. Look at the down and dirty Vipers here. These teams have really worked hard at this. I am so impressed, Nathan. If you look at a broadcast, as you were saying, we've been doing this for about a year. WTRL's into just about 2 years now. Well, you didn't see many teams that could pull this off. We have come a long, long way, baby.
Yeah, we have. And early on in the I think what's been really cool about the TTT and how it, with the broadcast and alongside of the broadcast, I believe having them shown in this way and having them talked about in this way and having people in chat watching how other people are doing it, it's really brought the level up. Early on there was a lot of blob, a lot of snowball effect continually. That was the meta.
Fake news. You were pushing blob fake news.
I don't think it's fake news. I think it's legendary, is what it is. And no, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, there's a time. I agree.
It's too hard to perform. You got to have. But I'm not positive. Look, that's where this isn't science. Nobody's really tested it from what I can see at this point. No, we don't have the data. Yep. So I think I think the reality on that one is that it's in theory and on paper. Yeah. In theory and on paper, I think there's a full-on raid style you could do with the right kind of roles in the team to do a full-on attacking blob. That's what I would call it, the attacking blob meta. But it's so difficult to perform. The risk reward is too high. Like, you would have to have so many really good, I keep using this term for those that aren't gamers, 360 no scope type Zwifters, people who can just have perfect aim with their pedaling power transferred into the game and how it communicates with all the avatars around them to hit the attacking blob perfectly. I was trying to put a super team together. I had names like James Hodges on my mind. I had this Casey Shum, Kim Little. This is the old school of the old schoolers who know the game that would be willing to commit to all right, let's try this attacking blob and see what happens, but at the end of the day, keeping it simple, stupid, really, I think, ends up winning because it's a lot easier to, I shouldn't even say easier. Even getting this down with the straight line formation, go to zero, go to the back, even that's difficult. But it's simple, right, exactly.
That's exactly it. It's not easy to do, but it's certainly not hard to describe, like a lot of things. And this is a really good example of that. And this is the process that we've been going through here, trying to figure this out. And I don't deny that you might be right. And you always have to look for those outliers that push the envelope, like, Carroll Shelby with automobile design and racing, or, the Aero handlebar that showed up with Boone Lennon putting on Greg LeMond's bike in the Tour, that kind of thing. People laugh, but then, I don't think people laugh at the blob, to tell you the truth, because even if it isn't the fastest, it's close. It's not like we're talking night and day either. But getting back to the down and dirty Vipers here, as we're in with Matt, that number probably designates to so the science of this, knowing which rider is who, so you can say, get in behind Matt. They'll use it. Yeah, and it looks like that's the system that they're using. A lot of teams will, because you want to wear the same jersey, which is the most distinguishable item that you have out there. Tron bike, or color of your Tron bike, would be another. Not everyone has a Tron bike or a concept bike there, but using that number there certainly helps. Socks is another thing we've seen. I always thought that was a little more subtle, but it made sense. So finishing up here, or actually at this point, we're just heading out for the final lap, completing 2 here. 27.1 kilometers here in the 94th week of the WTRL. It's the sweet science of team time trialing that we're looking at. Fourth rider gives your time, so it's never good to have a whole lap to go, including the trip up that climb. And that is when I say that climb.
We just had some data on there, Dave, and I just want to give a heads up on the data really quickly. Those were incorrect splits, just as a heads up, everybody. I'm just getting word that the data is coming through very slow 40,500 Zwifters out on Zwift right now. Live data, I know everybody, you've heard it time and again, but live data has been a struggle in the past weeks. There has been some changes to try and fix it. It hasn't had a complete fix just as of yet. We're still working toward getting a permanent solution. For right now, we're limping along a little ways with what we can provide. We'll get these splits fixed as fast as we possibly can and get them back up on board here. So again, the data from Zwift, we are waiting on it, and as soon as we get it, we will let you know. But we can get an idea of where things are at by looking at the time gaps between the riders. It does look like Innovation Alien Monsters are doing a pretty good job, and I want to give a good shout out